Let's switch gears now and talk about the possibility of Raphael Varane leaving Real Madrid for Manchester United. Joining us from his hotel room in Russia, Mark Ogden he's not on holiday, I think it's for work. Mark, this seems to be a story that's getting some traction.
Yeah, well, United have done Jadon Sancho. He was the big priority sign, and the next priority of Solskjaer is to get an established, experienced centre-half to play with Harry Maguire. I don't think he isn't happy with Lindelof, Bailly, Tuanzebe, Phil Jones. He's got options there that aren't really up to the standard that they need, and he feels that Harry Maguire needs a more experienced centre-half alongside him, and Varane is a player that they want and that they can get. You know, Real Madrid are trying to keep him. He's not signing a contract. He's 28. He's got a year left on his contract. And I think the only reservation that United had was that at 28 he's the same age as Maguire. Are they putting their eggs in the same basket in terms of age? But the guys who just talked about Sergio Ramos, he's a lot younger than Sergio Ramos, and at 28 is a good age for a defender, I think. So I think as long as United can get the fee agreed with Real Madrid, I think this deal gets done. I'll say fairly quickly, but I think it'll get done without any problems, because if PSG do get Ramos over the line, the only real kind of rival that United had for Varane is out of the question, because they're not going to sign Varane as well. So there's not really a big market for centre-halves right now in terms of other clubs wanting Varane. So United know that they're in a decent position. Real will always try and get more money out of somebody. That's what Real do. And I think until the deal is agreed, United will worry that Real will try and do something silly late in the game. But yeah, he's a player that United want, a player that Solskjaer wants, and it's a player that they can get.
Does deal make sense to you? Do you rate Varane?
I like Varane. He showed during the World Cup in 2018 that he was capable of leading the defense and doing a great job. But I'm sorry, we were talking about Ramos. Without Ramos, Real Madrid defense wasn't the same this season, and Varane was leading that defense. So I still have some.
But he won't have to be the leader in the sense that you feel Maguire.
That could be a very good couple, and they can work very well together, because he's an international player. He has experiences. He won, like we saw, many silverware, and he can serve Manchester United. And it's a good signing for Manchester United.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Is it for Varane a good signing? If he wants to win something, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Let's take a look at the possible 11 then. As Mark mentioned, Jadon Sancho confirmed after years of speculation. Is this team good enough to win the league, Kasey?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Cavani can score the goals that they need. I mean, he's done great for coming in, but I still see him probably in his situation being that secondary striker to play. Come off the bench. If obviously there was talk about potentially a Harry Kane or something like that, or even doing a double deal with Sancho to bring in Erling Haaland as well. I could see that more. I think Rashford has to have a better season.
Yes.
Pogba has to be more motivated than he's shown in a Manchester United shirt. If he shows the same motivation that he does for France, for Manchester United, potentially. And then obviously De Gea needs to get back to his form of a couple years ago.
The thing is really, Dan, that what we saw there, Manchester United have been good when they play with McTominay and Fred.
Right. Never
with Pogba and Fred, or McTominay and Pogba. They've been stronger defensively, and therefore they could play counter-attack.
So you would stick Pogba?
Well, there is a question mark. Where do you put? That's been the problem, the current problem about Pogba. Where do you put him in the team? How do you settle or line up your team with a player like that?
Yeah.
Of course, he's a fantastic player. He's been maybe the best French player, but it is a problem. It is a problem defensively. It's a real problem because he doesn't like to defend.
Yeah, Mark, this is something that you've written about a lot over the years.
Written about, spoken about. It seems to be the same thing that comes up time and time again with Paul Pogba for the last 5 years since he's been at Man United. He's a great player, as you've seen in the Euros. For me, he's a luxury player that Man United can't afford right now. And I've had to do my predicted team, and he's not in it, because I looked at the attacking options that Solskjaer's got, and I think obviously Cavani will play as centre forward. Then you've got Sancho to the right, you've got Bruno Fernandes being up behind Cavani, and I picked Marcus Rashford on the left. So where do you put Paul Pogba? I agree with Frank. You can't play him in a defensive two because he hasn't got the kind of the concentration levels and the discipline to play in that role. I don't think Fred's the answer, but I think Fred at least will defend. I think when Pogba plays alongside Scott McTominay, it does bring a bit of passing range to United. It does actually give them something. It's just when the ball is going the other way and he has to do more defensive work and the responsibilities that he lets them down. So, you know, if Paul Pogba was to sign for Real Madrid or PSG or a top team that, you know, will attack, I think he'd do well. But I think in that United team, I just think he's a liability at times.
Good enough to win the league, that team, Ali?
No.
Wait, think about it.
They're still playing against Manchester City, right?
Liverpool.
And there's, yes. And
you expect a bounce back from
We're not
Liverpool,
even
for
mentioning some of the other teams.
Yeah.
And if the reports are true and the idea of Harry Kane and Grealish and all that Manchester City could possibly be, are you kidding me? No. Yes, they'll be better. Does that make them champions? No, I don't think so.
Now, Mark, the understanding is if they want to strengthen the squad even further, they're going to have to get rid of some players. And you take a look at the potential list that may be on that transfer list. De Gea, no one's going to pay his wages. Phil Jones, everyone's forgotten he even plays.
Phil Jones!
No one's paying money for Pogba. Jesse Lingard's certainly a possibility. Martial will get you the sack. Then you've got Pereira, James, and a lot that you don't feel there's a lot of players there that could increase the funds that Solskjaer will have to spend.
No, look, I mean, I think Jesse Lingard might have put a bit of money onto his fee during his time at West Ham. I think Martial, somebody will pay maybe 20 million for him. I don't know. I wouldn't pay it for him, but somebody might. I think what United really would hope for is that somebody will make an offer for Pogba. I think they realise privately that they won't get what they feel he's worth. He's got a year left in his contract, and I don't think people at United expect Pogba to sign a new contract, and I don't think Pogba wants to sign a new contract. Why should he? You know, why should he stay at a club that isn't going to win things? But who is going to offer 50, 60 million pounds for Paul Pogba this summer? I just don't see anybody doing that. You know, Real Madrid, they've got other priorities. They don't need Paul Pogba. Juventus can't afford him. You know, Barcelona, you know, maybe PSG, but PSG don't need Paul Pogba. So, in many ways, as great a talent as he is, I think United has stuck with him. And in this time, in 12 months' time, basically a year today, he'll be out of contract to be a free agent. And I think he'll be able to pick his club. It might even stay at United as a free agent. You know, he can actually become a free agent and stay at Man United by signing a contract. But I think what he'll do, he'll run his contract down, assess his options, which means that United won't get a fee for him.
You're putting a lot of faces there.
Yeah, because buying players, if you have the money, it's very easy nowadays, especially this season. Selling players, with all the clubs being in a financial crisis, it's almost impossible. Yeah. And you only sell players who are top players, who've been performing very well.
Yes, yeah.
For people who have had problems or issues to be in the lineup of any club, nobody wants them. Mm-hmm. Okay, nobody wants to even spend 20 million for even a big star, because it's 20 million too much.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you take a look at how things stand according to the bookies, and whether or not Jadon Sancho, for example, joining us made any difference. Manchester United still 8-1. Manchester City, overwhelming favourites, 6-4 on to retain the title.
Wow.
Ali brought it up, Mark. Jack Grealish, Harry Kane. Where are we with those possible signings going to City?
Well, I think Jack Grealish will happen once the Euros are done. I think that there's an appetite at City's end. I think Grealish should go to City. Harry Kane, I think that would be a saga right to the end of the transfer window, because I don't think Daniel Levy at Tottenham, the Tottenham chairman, is in any mood to let him go cheaply. I think he wants to keep him for the year. I don't think Harry Kane will be particularly overwhelmed by the appointment of Nuno as the coach. I think that will probably push him even closer to the exit door, because it's not an inspirational appointment, that. So I think that it will run and run and run. City will desperately try to get Harry Kane, but this one I think will really go to the wire. It could go either way, but I don't think it'll happen anytime soon.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.